topics as and when it becomes necessary. It's 5 minutes after 9. Emmanuel Bonsubuatin is a member of the MPP's communications team here in the region. He has joined us for the MPP. Yes, he has joined us in studio. And Omar Harris is also a member of the NDC's communications team in the region. He has also joined us this morning. Guys, good morning. I hope you're all doing well.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Good. Harris, let me start with you. I'm sure you heard President Mahama talking about PDS. Yeah. We had thought that you guys really were against the PDS arrangement. But it looks as if the president said the principle of it is okay, is right, just that it was mismanaged. Yeah. Question people are asking is, is this a hint to us that President Mahama will be considering private involvement as far as the distribution leg of our power sector is concerned? Talk to me.
All right, Alfa, good morning once again, and good morning to our cherished listeners. Let me say good morning to the people of Asawasi constituency. Good morning to my MP. Good morning to Alhaji Mustafa Yarga, the Interior Minister's Protocol Officer. Alfa, last week I had some posts, but I didn't tell you. Currently, I've been appointed as the new Ashanti Regional Supporters Union PRO.
Supporters Union.
Yes, Ghana Supporters Union. You know Ghana has qualified.
Hey, then American
I understand. So I have been appointed by the Ashanti Regional President for the Mishuga. That is Honorable Alhaji Anyas. When you come to Aswasi, he's popularly
I want to
corruption.
I want to go and watch
and
Canada.
He has done me that honor. So in the course of the week, I was invited to Ejiso to participate in the outdooring of the new executives there. And then I went. And the founding father is Nana Binkum Hene of the Kubiasi Seche traditional area, Mr. Bassett Yahuza. He's the founding father of the chapter. So we went to support them. So let me say good morning to Alhaji Anyas for the honor he's done me, and then I assure him that I'll do my possible best to project it, because I know very soon I will rope you in, because you also deserve to go. And
I have to go. I have to go. I have to go.
The chairman for the Ejiso branch, let me say good morning to him, Chairman Prince Ufusu, popularly known as Kwaku, and the secretary Bashiru Seidu Bashwan, organizer Alasan Isaka. They said their doors are open. So if you want to join Mishuga, the Ejiso branch, you are free to call the organizer on 024 55 236. When you call him, he will do the honor. And as well as when you come, we also hold our meeting at the Abuabo Library. When you come there, our meeting,
post office.
Yes, post office. Our meeting is always on Friday. So today, for instance, after 3:30 there about you, and then that's where we converge. So good morning to the entire Ghana Supporters Union, especially our national president, who is Mr. Abubakar Dauda. He's also listening to us this morning. So good morning to everyone. And we are hopeful that we are going to give the necessary support to the Black Stars so that at least possibly we can win this World Cup, inshallah. Alfa, regarding the issue of the PDS, when I saw the way you captioned it, I was like, hey, Alfa, the questions, you know. You see, regarding the issue of the PDS, people were like, have we come to terms that the contract was good? Sadly, no, that's not what we're saying, and that's not what the president said. What the president said was simple. The MPP, when they were coming to seek the mandate to lead this country, President Akufo-Addo came with fantastic policies. I've always acknowledged that. One district, one factory. Beautiful. One constituency, $1 million. Beautiful. One district, one dam. Nice. One citizen, one bank account. Nice. One child, one egg. One child, one chocolate. All these beautiful promises were made to the good people of Ghana. And that was what lured Ghanaians into believing that these people would do the magic. I shall protect the public purse. Beautiful. I shall put my presidency on it. Activities of mining. Nice. All of these things were good. But what happened to the management and to ensuring that all these rhetorics were converted into actions for good people of Ghana to see the meaningful impact of their coming? Zero. So it's not about their flagship programs or the promises that they made to the good people, they were very good and appealing to the ears. But then how were they able to discharge it? Were they able to do it? No. The same happens to the issue of PDS. We all know that when the private people manages, something, they put in themselves into it because they know that the survival of the whatever they are managing is the survival of them. It's like their bloodline, so they put in much effort. Compare the bureaucracy in the public sector to that of the private sector, and that's basically the reason why people prefer the private sector, because they believe that there is maybe zero bureaucracy because people put themselves in. What was the rationale behind even the President Akufo-Addo administration to think of PDS? Because they feel like the ECGS at that time was incurring so much loss, and it was almost a shutdown. So they need to bring private participation into this whole thing to ensure that the private perspective will also come to play to salvage the situation, because people were using the electricity, they are not paying, and what have you. So when you bring the private people, at least they can bring initiatives and then take steps to ensure that we are able to take our money.
Okay.
So they brought in this PDS deal, that let's bring these private people so that they will help us. And when they brought them, you know, when you are entering into a serious contractual agreement like this that has got to do with the entire nation like Ghana, you need to ensure that you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. This is one of the reasons why renowned lawyers like lawyer Martin Pebu has always been on the neck of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and on the neck of Keno Foriata. Why? Because he feels like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has done a great disservice to Mother Ghana by way of his superintending over the waste and the monies that the country has lost as a result of his bad leadership. And he was the frontliner in the negotiation that has got to do with PDS. Why would a certain president who is claiming to be the waistcoat of economy, he knows everything, he's the receptacle of all knowledge in the world, and then governance and politics, suddenly allow for a contract that's supposed to be, you need to go through the contract and understand it well and ensure that nobody is taking undue advantage of the state. But you sat down for them to change condition precedent to condition subsequent, to change a bank guarantee to an insurance guarantee. When the documents the company even produced, the PDS even produced, when the insurance, the company that they came with, was said to be a fraudulent one. Why? Check all these things, President. It's just like you are going to buy something. I need to take a test or maybe test drive, then to ascertain whether the thing is in good shape. It's part of, a win-win negotiation to secure yourself from being taken advantage of. But he said, no, let's sign a contract. I don't care checking your insurance, whether it is genuine. I don't care going through the documentation to ensure that whether it's genuine. No, so long as this contract goes through, Ken Oforiatta gets his share, I get my share. Let's do it without proper doing due diligence to ensure that Ghana is not going to lose. But the purpose, the rationale behind the contract is good. But the people who handle it are the people who made it became a curse on the nation. You know the amount of money we've lost through this, this PDS scandal. And you know, somewhere around May 2025, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has called on an in-depth investigation into how Ghana lost such huge of money and those who were part of the negotiation to allow the country to be scammed need to be brought to book. We recover our money if there is any other sanctions that they face it. So clearly, the agenda was good. Let's bring private participation so that we can ensure that there is effective, supply of, energy and electricity. Things come down. But those who handle it did not have the good intention. Even though they created the intention for the general public to understand that, it was good. And all of us agree. Because even as a city Alpha, you and I, when there is maybe, let's say, government hospital here and a private hospital, all of us would wish to go to the private hospital because of the efficiency with which they used to discharge their work. Because they know it is them, it's their blood. But the government, there is this kind of bureaucracy, there's kind of lame, dark approach because it's for the government. And the government is not anybody's father. That's the assumption in Ghana. You get my point? So the initiative or the intention was good, but the people The people actually ruin it all because they had interest. Me commission, this one I'm fighting for commission. Why would they not do the due diligence? Why? So Alfa, this that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said regarding the PDS issue, I think we should go into it, establish the truth. Because when the PDS decided, when we terminated the contract, even that it was even under MPP that they terminated the contract because we started making noise. Why would they do that? Because they realized that agenda not pie. So they have to reverse their decision. And then the PDS company, sue them. What was...
But we've won. Oh.
What was the arbitrary? They were claiming damages.
Of 380
Yes.
million.
So why would you sit down, allow all this to happen before now terminating after the monies that we've lost as a nation? And when they went to court, they didn't even have a case because they don't even have the capacity. So clearly, I agree with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and this is one of the reasons why most of the Brian people are saying Baumia is not going to help the matter, because this PDS is a grave wickedness that he has done to Ghana.
Do you expect similar idea to be implemented by your administration?
Well, if it would...
To say, let's allow private people to handle the distribution aspect.
We are careful because we all know what we are taught in school. The basic economy is that for the private businesses, they exist solely to make profit or to maximize profits, but the public is there for social services. You understand? So normally when you make it too private, it is going to incur a lot of burden on people. So what I would suggest, or what I think the government would even do, will be a partnership between government and private, so that at least the government will be serving the interests of the citizenry, while the private also would ensure that the citizenry also does not take undue advantage over the system, so that at least there will be a balance. Okay. So I think that's the way forward.
Let me go to Mr. Bonsu.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning,
Alpha, and good morning to your cherished listeners. I'd want to extend my greetings also to Honorable Dr. Brian Champon and to all the regional campaign team members for Honorable Dr. Brian Champon. I want to talk briefly about Dr. Brian Champon before I zoom into the discussions of today. So Dr. Brian Champon is one of our candidates who is also vying to become the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. At this point in our party's history and at this point in our party's fortunes, we think that we need somebody who would unify our party, because there is too much tension between the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the camp of Honorable Kennedy Ejapon. And looking at his contribution to public service and to introduce the EPS system, the TPRS and the ESPV, he has contributed so much to our governance structure into reducing the irregularities in our payment structure in this country. And also, he also have this the biggest or the largest hotel in Africa, which is in Kwau, in the eastern region. And he has also contributed to this cocoa syndication, if you are aware. He cancelled the fact that we are supposed to go for loans before we can be able to purchase cocoa. And so now the international buyers are supposed to pay an upfront payment of 60% before they could be able to get the cocoa in our country. So I think this man is a man who has contributed so much to our governance structure and to public service and everything, and that our party people, the delegates, should be able to consider him on the 31st of January 2026. Now to the discussions of today. I'm glad that now the NDC are singing a different song. The issue is that when they are in opposition, they have what they say, and when they come into government, they have what they say. I want to ask a simple question. I want to know the difference between, let's say, Feed Ghana and Planting for Food and Jobs. What's the difference? There's no difference. Now, the government of the day in the last 8 years under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo thought it wise that ECG needed a privatization because the sector had incurred a lot of debt which needed to be cleared. And so the privatization of that sector was going to help to, get away with the debt. And that brought the idea of PDS. Fine, that could be the point that maybe there were some irregularities somewhere and somebody didn't do due diligence. But at the time, we all saw the president of the day sacking the then minister of state. He sacked him for those irregularities. At least he set an example.
I thought the sacking was on the Ameri deal.
It was on that.
Because he said that the minister had ill-informed him on the Ameri deal.
So it comes across with the same thing with the PDS.
I don't think so.
No, the point is
Okay.
that now, you see, not everything that is going to be said in public.
Okay.
Do you understand? But at a point in time, one of them should be able to be used to scapegoat you for what you've done. And because of that, today, I don't think there is a very good relationship between the then minister and the former president. You understand? So what is happening is that at least there was some sort of an example that was given that the president was going to ensure accountability of his appointees. The NDC at the time maligned people. They were, name calling Oforiata. They were talking about Gabi or Ochedakon, making it look as though those people had something to do with the contract, which was ill-informed. Do you understand? And today, the president of the day is singing a different song, saying that it was not a bad idea. And I still maintain that the MPP has always been very good initiators of good and great ideas. Yes, think about the free SHS program, think about planting for food and jobs, think about Operation Vanguard and all of those things. Now, what is happening is that is why I asked the question, that what's the difference between Feed Ghana, which has been initiated by Eric Opoku, the Honorable Minister of State, and the planting for food and jobs? What's the difference? There is no difference between that. So I still maintain that when you are dealing with the NDC, you should deal with them with a very strategic mindset, because if you are not careful, they will throw dust in your eyes and they will deceive you. They said a whole lot of things about us in government, but today the president is saying that there was nothing wrong with the idea, only for some fraudulent, mishaps in there. That is okay. In law, we know that fraudulent contracts are avoidable. And that is why I should think that the London court didn't rule in favor of them. That's okay. Ghana wins. But you should admit that the idea is right, which the president has done. You should have done so in opposition, which you didn't do. You criticized and you made people feel as though the government of the day wanted to, use some means to take money from the people of Ghana, extort money.
But don't you think the NDC has always been consistent
with what?
In criticizing the way that the whole arrangement was handled, but not to castigate the idea? In other words, the principle they agree with, that you need private involvement to ensure efficiency.
I don't think that they said that in opposition. I don't remember.
There's a story here.
Okay.
And maybe we can't, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I think I've lost it, but I'll find it for you, where as far back as 2019, they still essentially were criticizing the way that the deal was handled.
Yes, that I have not disputed.
So in other words, what they're trying to say is that they agree with you, the MPP, that
they should have said so. They
yes,
didn't say so. You can't agree.
We need private involvement, but you shouldn't have routed it the way you routed it, because it came with a lot of issues.
But if you are building a country, if you are building a country, and it's a battle of ideas, you bring yours, I bring mine. That's what they do in Parliament. The deal, when it was being, introduced, I'm sure the Minister of State took it to Parliament, So if you are talking about due diligence, were they not also going to supposed to be part of the due diligence? They were supposed to be part. So it's more like we should admit that both sides did not do a good job by doing very good due diligence with a deal. We admit that. But you guys should have said that it's a good idea in opposition for the people of Ghana to understand that, oh, it's a good idea, but with this just little mishap, so we need to correct it.
Okay.
Because the debts are still there when you go to University of Ghana. When the university found out that the traditional halls and the hostels were incurring so much debt, they introduced UGL. And UGL is a private entity in University of Ghana, whose sole idea and aim is to help the school to service their debts, which they are doing up until now. So I don't disagree with the fact that we are supposed to do due diligence. But what I'm saying is that the NDC should have admitted that is a good idea, but we should correct it this way and make inroads.
By this comment, and you have 2 minutes to do you foresee us having more or less another version of PDS?
I will not be surprised.
In other words, the government opening itself up for private involvement.
The NDC cannot surprise me.
But that would be a good idea, to be in consonance
that's
with what
okay.
you like.
It will be a good idea. But what I'm saying is that the NDC will not surprise me to introduce something like that in future. Because if we implemented planting for food and jobs, then you come in to say Feed Ghana program, which I don't see any difference between the two. It's just a name change. So in a similar version, they can easily, try to work on the contract of PDS and twist it in a way and try to change the name. NDC cannot surprise me. And so, I understand. What is the difference between NIMOS and Operation Vanguard? It's just a name change. It's the same idea, the same vision, the same goal, which we implemented. But these people are fond of castigating the ideas that the MPP brings all the time. And that is what I'm saying, that the NDC, fine, they can be consistent with their criticism, but they should always make the time to also admit that, oh, these people are doing great and we need to give it to them. But they should not make everything politics.
Okay. That's Emmanuel Bonsu. He is a member of the MPP's communications team in the region. And as he himself said, he is a member of the Bryant team as well. Let me take 2 minutes rebuttals and then we'll come back and deal with illegal mining, because Emmanuel has already even referred to that. So let's, Harris, in 2 minutes, your rebuttal.
My good brother here said he doesn't know the difference between planting for food and jobs and then Feed Ghana. And he also does not know the difference between NIMOS and Operation Vanguard. Let me refer him to what Kennedy Apon told us about the Operation Vanguard. Perhaps you might be able to strike a balance between the two. Operation Vanguard was that task force that was initiated by President Akufo-Addo to guide, protect, and shield Galamseyers. That is Operation Vanguard. Because I am not saying it. Somebody who is likely to lead as a flag bearer of your political party, Kennedy Apon, came to tell us that that was what they were doing. And we saw videos. You get my point? So it's clearly a difference. And NIMOS, everybody is seeing what they are doing.
Is NIMOS also not an arrangement that gives officials of the NDC the opportunity to enable illegal mining?
Officials who are standing trial?
No, if someone describe it as such, would you have a...
No, we describe it with evidence. The evidence I've given evidence that Kennedy Japan was telling us that they were even robbing legitimate or legally, accepted miners of their gold.
And,
told us.
And the evidence of your government telling us that your MP is also...
Which evidence? Which government? Who said it?
The NIMOS team.
What did they say?
they said that your MP incited residents against the Nangos team.
We cannot
You
draw
know that?
conclusion because the man is standing
But
trial.
why do you draw conclusion on a statement, but you cannot draw conclusion on another statement?
Listen. The man is standing trial, but this one that we talked about, the president never did or never made sure somebody is arrested for us to even think of getting to the root of the matter.
Okay.
But this one, the man within the shortest time, the MP, we didn't care whether he's MP or who. He's standing trial just like any other Ghanaian. And that is the difference between the Naimos and the Vanguard. And we are seeing them, they are very visible everywhere. Today as we speak to you, based on allegation, the national chairman of the ruling party is standing trial. Based on mere allegation, Abanga, a national executive,
His
is also
point of
The
correction
national chairman.
is a regional chairman.
sorry,
National
the-
organizer.
national organizer, point of correction. You get my point?
He
And
is
then-
under investigation.
He's
not
under
trial.
investigation.
He's not
But
trial.
let's now compare who, under your 8 years of government, was roped.
They point you to the fact that their national women's organizer had her excavators bent to ashes, and
That
they,
is-
they think that's much more serious
Yeah,
than any
what
other.
is serious about this? What is serious about this?
Okay.
And then we saw your own land minister telling the task force that Chamawun to me, I have a docket on him. He's doing galamsey. President went to clear him.
You seem to be jumping again.
No,
We'll
we are
come
not
to the
jumping.
legal
So
matter.
that is the clear
just
difference.
rub
And
off.
then also the difference between Feed Ghana
Uh-huh.
and planting for food and jobs. We also how the program ended.
PFJ.
Yes, we also.
It didn't end well.
Oh, come on. There was no transparency. Under even the time that we didn't even have this sloganeerism, farmers and then were getting input fertilizers for free. And it was under you when you came and even declared the planting for food and job that fertilizers with bold inscription, not for sale chemicals, were being sold to farmers. So clearly, you can't compare. And then to say that
Please wrap up on that.
just to say that a contract is only fraudulent. The contract is only fraudulent when the nation is losing whooping millions of dollars, and you make it look as though it's so simple like that.
Did he? I don't.
No, he said it
recall-
was just only a fraudulent. People didn't handle.
No, he said
the
there was no
contract well.
due diligence.
So is
that's
that
what I
is that
heard.
an easy thing to supersede to a contract without doing due diligence and allowing the nation to lose monies that would have been used to build a cheap compound or a clinic or a hospital for our sake?
Let me go to.
So let's not
Emmanuel.
make it look so simple like
Yeah,
that.
In
so,
2 minutes.
So let me respond to my brother, and I mean, to say that Kennedy or Japan said something that our president, the Operation Vanguard, was to shield illegal miners. I don't recall, or I don't remember him saying it anyway. I should think that we should put issues in proper perspective and back our claims with facts. You don't just say things in the air just like that. And about this PDS, I still maintain that the minister cannot sit at the ministry and say that I have privatized ECG. I don't think it works that way. It has to go through processes.
Yeah.
And it has to also undergo parliamentary review and everything. And I'm saying that at the time your people were in parliament, they should have also gone through the documents, and also you should have done those due diligence. They were just doing politics with it. We are building a country and we are building a nation. And so if we don't agree on political grounds, but something that will benefit the whole country should be something that should be our hallmark, something that should be the focus of everybody. You don't just sit and try to find some little fault to castigate the government of the day only because you wanted to win power. That's my...
I see. 34 minutes of tonight. Your messages are welcome on 05939329993. We are here with Emmanuel Bonzo and Umar Harris. Let me read a couple of, keep saying couple, number of messages that you've sent to us this morning. This one says that, please, who do you have in the studio who sounds like President Ekufado? Have you ever been told that before?
No, I've not been told that before.
Okay, but you may also be you look like
some kind of mannerism.
Taller
than him.
so I don't know that, but thank you very much for joining us. This one says that I think Harris is right. PDS in principle is a good idea. All of us should encourage private involvement. Alpha, you and I know that when there is private involvement, one thing you get as a result is efficiency. But without it, sometimes efficiency is questionable. I think that was the idea that backed the previous government's decision to get into that. But indeed, it was not thoroughly assessed and it was not properly done. Why we had issues. Okay, thank you very much. This came through from Fred for joining us this morning with your message. You can also join us with your message on 05939329993. Let me go to Emmanuel on this. Illegal mining. A lot have been said. A lot seems to have been done on that matter. What do you make of the fight against illegal mining? And there are those who are asking, could it be the case that some top officials of the NDC are enabling or contributing or more or less involved in the illegal mining situation that we have, based on what happened at Tridium and based on the narrative regarding, I'm sure you've heard videos about Collins Dauda and some of the things that he has been saying, etc.
Yes, I have.
Yes. In the next... okay, we can do that in the next 8 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. So the issue about illegal mining. Now, on the 15th of July this year, I should think that you remember a petition was sent accusing the national organizer of the National Democratic Congress that he and Abanga was involved in illegal mining. I don't know if you heard about that story. And which the Attorney General referred to Yoko to investigate the matter. Until now, we've not heard anything again. It's more like it has been swept under the carpet. So when you talk about whether or not some of their people are enabling the fight, enabling illegal mining activities in the country, I would say that yes, I think so. And that the fight against it has worsened under their watch than it was in the last 8 years. Really? Yes, that's my opinion. I have had the opportunity of touring the whole region.
In Ashanti region?
Yes.
Okay.
I have that opportunity of touring the whole region for about 3 or 4 times. When you get to places like New Adubiasia, Kofrom, those areas coming down to Obuasi, it's terrible there. But it was not like that like a year ago.
It wasn't?
It wasn't. And you could clearly see that people are in the bush, because about 2 weeks ago when we were in Manson, Kwanta, Mansua, Dubia areas, you could see people in the forest, open pit, like they are doing illegal mining. But these are the very people who castigated our government about the Operation Vanguard, which was set up to fight the illegal mining activities in the country. Now, there are newly born babies today who are suffering from all sorts of ill health, issues. I did my research work for my MPhil in composting, looking at some of these things, heavy metals and coal. And when you look at the traces of heavy metals in our vegetables, I'm being specific with vegetables because that's what I dealt with. When you look at the WHO and the FAO limits of these ones, and you check the traces in the lab, you could see that they are all above permissible limits. And I should think that this is something that is a national security threat, is a national issue that we all have to be able to fight against it, but not as what the NDC does. The little effort you put in, They will criticize you and make it look like you are doing nothing. Look at what happened in Hwidium. A whole member of parliament who legislates that we follow the rules of this country. Then you are enabling people to fight the very people who have been asked to come and protect our water bodies and our environment. Why should that be so? And the worst of it is that, fine, we've spoken about the issue, you've tried to take him on and everything. Then you grant him a bail of 150,000. How much is 150,000? Whilst you are granting other people bail terms of 800 million, 10 million, 150 million with landed sureties. You just grant him a 150,000 bail and tell us that you have barred him from traveling outside Accra. Alfa, do you agree with us? If the person drives through Adenta, through Aburi, and comes to Kumasi through to his constituency, how are we going to know? There's no camera on him. There's nothing like we are monitoring him 24/7. And this is your party. You do something in the media for people to think that this is what you've done to him, which is not true. And so I'm trying to rub my head about the fact that
something that the fact that the government has put their own members, some of the examples that you cited,
yes,
the national organizer,
yes,
and also the third vice chairman,
yeah,
now the member of parliament on their ticket,
yes,
should give you the reason to believe that they are committed, because these are their own people.
But the point
at
is, if you are prosecuting my regional chairman, that he has also, yes, that he has also done something like this, is the same line. And if you are really, committed to the fight against it, it's not about you trying to say that, oh, I've done this to this, I've done this. No. Is the person standing trial? Has any prosecution been done? No.
For the executives of the party, not yet.
Yes, not yet. So I'm trying to say that 3 months is enough to establish whatever evidence you want to do, you want to establish, to be able to send them to court. But we've not heard anything. 15th July, we are in November. There is nothing to write home about. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say that the NDC are not people that has to be trusted. No. We should not trust them because they are not consistent with what they say. They have a way of doing their things in opposition, and when they come to government, they have a different way of doing it. So they are not people that we should trust them. Do you understand? They are doing worse about the fight. People are in the forest. When you ask them, they will tell you our party is in power. That's what they say. I know some of your constituency executives who are in the forest, who are mining, who are doing illegal mining. Some of them give money to the locals and the communities that go into the forest. If anybody calls you, or if anybody try to, arrest you, call me. I'll call them to release you. That's what they are doing. This is not me conjecturing or me trying to say something in the air. No, I know what I'm saying. I know for a fact. So the NDC do not have any moral right to be castigating other people. You understand? So they have failed in the fight against Galamsey, and they have failed in the fight against this whole thing. Thank you.
Or
Alfa, you see, President Akufo-Addo, if he's listening this morning, he will not be too happy with my brother. He sounds like him, almost look like him. And you are in this nation when President gives directive that we should be citizens and not spectators. Alfa, am I right?
Yeah, so he said so.
If you say that you care about this nation, and then you know for a fact that there's someone that you don't even agree with is doing something that is going to affect the future of this country, and the only thing you can do is to keep quiet and not do anything about it when already the mantra see something is in the air. The only thing you can do is to sit on radio without providing any lead for the arrest of such a person. I think you are doing a great disservice to this nation. Because if I sitting here should hear that you are doing something in relation to Galamsey and I know where you are, no matter who you are, no matter how far you are, even if I have to go and do bala and get money to lead people to go and arrest you, I'll do so and come and sit on air and use you as a bad example. But you are quiet and you are saying you know them, and yet still you are saying you are doing nothing about it. You are not helping the police to arrest them. How can we fight Galamsey when we all don't get involved? Because I remember quite well that President Akufo-Addo himself said that.
Maybe he's encouraged by the words of President Mahama, who said, even if I arrest the small boys, I'll release them because I'm interested in the kingpins. And he has also said that
the arresting of the small boys,
so maybe he saw the small
give you
boys,
lead to get to the big boys.
But the president said he's not interested in the small boys. He wants
you arrest the small boys, you get the big hands behind them. Okay. Before you release them, you just don't release them like that. Today, look at what is happening to Chamawun to me. Ekuokun is saying that he is not going to allow himself to be used as a scapegoat. He will confess. He's not a kingpin, but he has given the kingpin out.
Is it not easier, because you guys, we heard from you during the campaign that, of course, Wontumi is...
No, it's not about hearing.
So some people think going after Wontumi is way easier.
Why is it?
But then we are waiting to see the kingpins that you go in for today in this current circumstance. Because a lot of the people who have been arrested so far have been the quote-unquote what President Mahama would describe as small boys. We are yet to see any kingpin arrested.
Alfa, from the arrest that is ongoing, definitely you'll be asked. Just like Ekuokun was telling that for him, the Namri, what river, it was Chamawun to me who gave them order to invade. He's talking. And he has exposed the kingpin. So the arrest of these 9 months, arrest this year, 9 months, he is going to lead us to the kingpins. And some of them are very intelligent. Unlike Chamawun to me. Because Chamawun to me is the one... See, okay, I will. But the way Chamawun to me is doing that, you heard what Ekuokun said. People will come and be protesting. Free Chamawun to me, as though Ekuokun was not a human being. So he decided to also think intelligently. There are some of the kingpins currently who are standing trial. But they have decided to quietly go through the process. They don't allow those drama around them, so you don't even know that such a person or this person is going through that. If not because
do you know anyone?
Matthew Opoku Prempe was the one who openly told us that he himself, he has been reporting on some corruption related.
Not in relation to Galamsey.
I'm not talking about Galamsey. I'm talking about some corruption related activity. We wouldn't have known that he's standing trial because he doesn't allow the drama around his case. You get my point? So when you invite the drama, that's when the media will be involved. And then it will look like we are trying to push somebody. But there are more than 800 who are currently going through the process. So let's not make it look as though we are in a hurry to push people in. It's what you asked for. It's what he served you. Now, he said... his research proved that these things, children with deformity, they started just this in 10 months. My brother, that is the result of the distraction that you've caused Ghana for your 8 years in government. That is the distraction. That is it. We are just 10 months in government, heading into our 11 months. So suddenly you are telling me that all these things is happening within just this 11 or 10 months. When you have done this in 8 years, my brother, to conclude that the government is doing nothing about it. Let me remind my brother that it was President Akufo-Addo and his government who, out of their own intelligence, decided to pass a law that mining activities should be carried out in our forest. True or false? It was President Akufo-Addo. He consciously did that. Let's have a law that permits for mining activities in our forest. It never existed in Ghana. It was him who brought it. And they passed that law. And I have argued on this very platform and other platforms that if the NDC is able to repeal that LI within the shortest time, it will demonstrate 50% of NDC's commitment towards the fight illegal mining. And Alfa, as we speak right now, what is happening to the LI? Has it not been revoked? It has.
No, the process has started.
But yes, it has been revoked. And the process is ongoing. Again, you are talking about distraction. Let me now take you to some data from Water Resource Commission. Comparing 2024 some months and some months. Alpha, you can also do your cross check. See, rivers like the River Tano, Seshi. In 2024, the turbidity level was 139. In 2025, it is 14. You can cross check. I don't want to look like I'm saying something that I owe that evidence. You can check it in the data of Water Resource Commission.
Okay.
There's an improvement. And again, when you go to Barikese, it was 22, and now it has reduced what? It has improved to 11. When you go to River Ankobra, it was 2,870, and now it has reduced to 1,270, 1,207. And then look at River Densu. It was 129, and it has reduced now to 34.
Okay.
Look at River Tanoso. It was 10 in 2024 under your government, and now it is 9. Look at River Ankobra. It is 1,500, and as we speak, it is 520. Looking at the percentage, you could see there is an improvement of the improvement of 89%, 50%, 32%, 73%, 10%, 65%. So my brother, this is in just 10 months, Alpha. It means all this worst record that we chalked, it was in 2024 under you. And then now that we are putting prudent measures to ensure that we work it out, we are chalking success. This is in just 10 months. Alpha, imagine what it would be after 2 years.
Interesting. Let me just add 2 minutes to you for you to deal with this Attorney General's new strategy. He said he's using small thieves or small criminals to catch the big criminals. In 2 minutes before I go to stuff.
Alpha is a good strategy. You always have to use what you have to get what you want.
Okay. So
sometimes it's a very good strategy.
It's making people choke each other.
But it's not about choking. We need to be citizens and not spectators. It's not about snitching, my brother.
People are snitching on each other.
You wouldn't know the importance of that thing until someone is trying to.
Your brother will be snitching on you.
Until someone is trying to put you in trouble, and a good Samaritan who knows everything comes to rescue you. Okay. You worship the person if you are not careful. Like Ekuoku, he doesn't have anybody. He said he see party protesters coming to say free Chamahu to me, and he's there. And he even dared the journalist. So if not because of today I'm speaking, did you even know that the guy in the camps was part of Chamahu?
It's not their fault that they didn't know him.
Yes,
popularity
that is the reason why you need to fight for yourself. There are sometimes it's each one for himself,
he's willing
but for us all.
to choke his own boss.
It's not about choking. He's ready to help Ghana. He's ready to help Ghana so that we can move on.
I see.
So, Alpha, for me, I think using the small ones. So, I believe in that. At least if I'm a young man, because of unemployment, and I need to feed, and I go and I'm supporting a big man, I'm helping in the site. I cannot even buy 5 shovels. But the one who is buying the big excavators, that I am doing something small, boja to eat. And you go and arrest me while the man is staying in the house. He's enjoying. When my crime was voidable. But the person who is actually the panacea of everything is, no, I don't think it's the way to go. So, Alpha, I think that, yes, well, just as Naimos is, is arresting them, when they are arrested and they are interrogated, when they fish out the big man who is buying the excavator, buying everything, sponsoring the everything, then we look for a way that we would shift them to ensure that they don't go back to doing that. Then we deal with the kingpin. So I think Ekuoku has given us very fair idea of how to use what we have to get what we want. Look at in the case of Hanan. Gift Owari. Do you know Gift Owari? Do you know Gift Owari? Her husband himself is also testifying against her. That she took his Ghana card and used it to go and establish a new company without his knowledge. He's also testifying against her. So anyhow we can get to the root of the matter to deal with the matter to help this country. Alpha, it's allowed.
Let me give Bones the final 2 minutes. So that we'll wrap up.
Okay, thank you.
On this Attorney General strategy to use small thieves, quote and unquote, to catch the big ones.
Okay, so that's what I would say. The language in court, the language we speak in court is evidence. You understand? And so
you are a lawyer?
I'm not yet,
okay.
But I
when you say we, I thought you said you were.
No, I'm not a lawyer yet, but I'll be very soon.
Oh, hopefully.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. You are in the process.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
But what I'm trying to say is that the language in court
we speak is evidence.
we speak
of course.
is evidence. And so what we are trying to say is that if you think there has been any irregularities or people have done things that have caused financial loss to the state, you have every right to prosecute the person. But what we want to establish is that you don't speak too much when you have the power to do what is expected of you. When you are in opposition, the fact that you don't have the power or have the state institutions at your beck and call, for that you can be talking too much in opposition, saying all that you want. But the moment you come into government, it's a serious business. So I am saying that if you think that we have done things, or the appointees of the SWAL government have done things which is contrary to the code and conduct of public service, you are at liberty to prosecute them. You understand? The NDC is behaving as though they do not have the teeth to bite. Yes, because the Attorney General is always in the media.
But he's also in the court.
He's
in the media and he's in the court.
He's in the court. For that, I cannot speak to it. But the fact is, I always see him in the media, trying to,
he's
updating us
of the progress of the investigation thus far.
Okay, that's okay. But what we are saying is that they should prosecute if there is any evidence. That's why I've established that the language that we speak in court is evidence.
But are you not scared by what is likely to happen to your regional chairman? If indeed someone that he used to work with very closely is now going to testify against him?
He is only trying to salvage his freedom. He's only talking about the fact that people were speaking about Wontumi alone, and he was not in the picture when people were doing free Wontumi, and all of those things. His name was not mentioned. So he's only fighting for himself.
Which you think is okay?
It's fair. It's okay. It's fair because he also has a family, and that he has a family that depends on him, and so he should be given the right to also speak for his own sake, to put the issues across as to say what happened. Yeah. That's
our show for today. You heard from Emmanuel Bonsu, a member of the MPP's. Pardon? Oh, but I give you the opportunity.
Okay, let me say Juma Mubarak to Al-Hajj Ibrahim Mahmoud Gambo.
Okay.
He is the Adumasa Zongo.
Adumasa Zongo.
He's the Serki of Adumasa Zongo. He always listens to the program. So this morning he just prompted me that he's listening.
Oh,
I
are you
decided
sure?
to just send him a shout out.
The man who works at the assembly, as going
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
oh, say good. Say I'll come and see him. I live
man.
close to him, so.
Really? All right, then I'll.
No, I mean my house and the assembly is not very.
I'll inform you.
So good morning to him. He's the Adumasa Zongo chief. Okay. Yeah, you want to greet somebody?
Yes, I should also be given the opportunity.
Please do.
Let me say a very good morning to my own boss, Honorable Emmanuel Ejianshri.
Oh, he's my good friend.
Oh, yeah, really?
He's a very good friend.
He's the former member of parliament.
Yeah, he's a campaign manager for Brian in the region.
Yes, in the region.
Oh, good morning. He's always listening. I don't know if he's listening today, though. Emmanuel is always listening to us. He's a very good friend.
Yeah, so let me also say I greet Papaya, the constituency secretary for Asokwa.
Okay.
Nanedu of Jabin, Jimmy himself, Omens, Chairman Brenya, all the regional campaign team members for the Dr. Brian Champon campaign.
Thank you very much for coming. It's been an interesting one. That's our show for now. I was here with Mark, who ensured we were streaming live on Facebook. Rhoda was here with me, who put up a very forceful debate for her agenda. I did the opposite. My name has been Alfa. Ali, you want to have a very good morning.